Jazzcast Pros.
Today we are going to be having a solo episode, and we are going to be talking about confidence, trusting the process, and betting on yourself. Welcome to Fearless Fridays with Marianne, the podcast where real talk meets real transformation. I am your host, Dr. Marianne Rivera-Dannert, and with over 10 years as a life coach, author, speaker, and trainer, I will be guiding you on this journey of healing, growth, and empowerment. So first, let me share with you something very exciting that aligns right along with this topic. So at the time that I am recording this episode, and by the time it comes out, something exciting has occurred. MRD Empowerment Solutions, which is the parent company of Fearless Fridays with Marianne, has acquired a office space and an event space. And I am super excited about both because, just to be totally transparent and honest with you, for the past 4 years, I have been recording my podcast out of a corner of my bedroom. So having my own office space, not only a place where I can dedicate to recording the podcast and possibly even have guests in person, but also a space where I can coach my clients, my one-on-one clients. And then also, because of the event area that's attached to the office space, it's a smaller space that will fit about 15 to 20 individuals. And I'm probably going to just cap it at around 15, depending on the event that I'm going to be hosting, but possibly keeping it at 15 so people can be comfortable and things like that. But I will be hosting workshops, webinars, conferences, different events, paint and sip, a whole host of events. So to find out more information about that, especially if you are in the Rochester area, you can go to my website, marianneriveradannert.com/events, to see a list of events through the month of April, May, and June. And then as we get near the end of those months, I will be having the next 3 months of events posted out there. So I am super excited about having our own space and getting the opportunity to host you in person. So what exactly does all of that have to do with confidence, trusting the process, and betting on yourself? So sometimes when we have dreams, sometimes when we have goals and things that we want to accomplish and we share them with other people, they may not necessarily understand where we're coming from or why do we even have this vision. And here's the thing. The vision was given to you. It's your vision. It's not anyone else's vision. The dreams, the plans, everything was downloaded to you, not to anyone else. So if it was downloaded to you, it is your responsibility to execute. It is your responsibility to trust the process. It is your responsibility to step out of your comfort zone and build that confidence and just do the thing. So how exactly do you know if it's something that you're supposed to do, if you're meant to be doing it? If it's a dream that continues to reoccur, if it's a goal that you continue to write week after week, month after month, year after year, if it's something that appears on your vision board year after year, year after year, then that's a sure sign that you are supposed to be working on this thing. It's a sign from your higher power, the universe, God, that this is the path for you, that this is something that is deep down within you that you want to create, that you want to do. But for whatever reason, you're stuck. And that's exactly what we are going to be talking about today. And before we start talking about those things, just a quick reminder that confidence is not about having all of the answers. No, confidence is about trusting yourself to figure things out as you start taking action. So what exactly holds us back? Number one, fear of failure. And exactly how do we let fear keep us stuck? What if? What if it doesn't work? What if I invest all of this money, all of this time, all of this resources, and it fails? What if I launch this business and it fails? What if I write the book and no one buys it? What if I open up a restaurant and no one comes? What if, what if, what if, what if? You can what if yourself to death, and you can talk yourself out of anything, because fear is something that is meant to protect you. Whenever you have that fear of something, it's because your mind, your heart, your nervous system is trying to keep you safe. Fear of failure is something that your body wants to keep you safe from. We don't want to fail. Our bodies, our minds, our hearts, they don't want to see us fail. And the thing about it is, your mind, your body, your nervous system, all of that, it's connected, and your body reacts differently when you think about failing or when you think about success. There's a different energy, and your body can tell the difference. So fear is meant to keep you safe. And the thing about it is that when you start thinking about, well, if this doesn't work, what if that doesn't work? What if it does work? What if once you step out of your comfort zone? What if once you take that bold and fearless move? What if when you trust the process, because you have done the research, you have done the work, you have written out the outline, you have written out the business plan, you have sought out guidance from mentors and from coaches, you have prayed about it, you have meditated on it. What if it works? What will that mean to you? So if there's something within you that you are trying to achieve, that you're trying to do, but the fear of failure is keeping you stuck, ask yourself, what if I succeed? What does that mean to me? What will that mean to my family? What would that mean to the legacy that I'm leaving? What will that mean? Write all of those emotions down, because the more that you start to connect with your emotions, the more that you start to admit and acknowledge these emotions, the more that you are able to understand where they're coming from, and the easier and the more you are able to start working on them. Another thing that we are sometimes afraid of, or that keeps us stuck, is self-doubt and imposter syndrome. You know, that inner critic that whispers, who do you think you are? We sometimes listen to that voice because we start to question ourselves. Who do you think you are? And then you start thinking about all the things that have happened to you in life, whether you are like me, a high school dropout, someone who's been a victim of domestic violence, someone that has experienced sexual assault, someone who's been homeless, someone who has been in jail, someone who has been fired from a job, somebody who has filed bankruptcy, somebody who's been divorced, somebody who has had abortions, somebody, the list goes on and on and on and on. When you start thinking or answering the question, who do you think you are? Sometimes those things from our past start speaking louder and louder and louder, that you start to revert back to the old you, to the one who's comfortable in that safe space, to the one that doesn't take any risks. And that imposter syndrome, that self-doubt speaks louder than the successful, badass person that is within you. Because again, if the dream, if the vision continues to appear over and over and over again, it is within your right. It is within your system to work on that. So every time the inner critic and that self-doubt starts to creep in, and you find yourself asking, who do you think you are? Answer that question with confidence. Answer that question as the person that you are working to become. You are the CEO of your business. You are a best-selling author. You are a sought out, highly paid transformational speaker, or whatever kind of speaker you want to be. You are a business owner. You are the best mother that there is. You are the successful entrepreneur. You are becoming that person. You are the first millionaire in your family. You are leaving legacies. You are breaking generational curses. That is who you are. Just like you keep believing those imposter syndromes, that inner critic, that self-doubt, just like you keep believing that, speak about yourself as the person that you are becoming, and speak about yourself as you are already there, as you have already accomplished that. Speak about yourself with that same confidence and that same determination. And the more that you continue to do this, hour after hour, as a matter of fact, start minute after minute, hour after hour, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year after year. And before you know it, that is exactly who you are going to be. And the third one in this section here is you are waiting for permission. You are waiting for permission from, I don't know who. You are waiting for permission from your parents, from your significant other, from your children, from your neighbor, from whoever. But here's the thing. We need to stop looking for external validation to chase our dreams. Again, the dreams were given to you. The passion, the purpose was given to you. The goal, the vision, it was given to you. So stop waiting for permission. You don't need permission from anyone. Everything that you need, everything that you desire is within you. So give yourself permission. Be bold, be brave, and step out in confidence. Speaking about confidence, confidence is built. It is not given. So confidence isn't something that you're necessarily born with. It is something that you cultivate. It is something that you work on. I have used this example in the past, so I'm going to use it again because it's a great visual. Think about your bicep muscle. If you're flexing right now, you might see a little flab, a little, jiggly on there, or you might see a little curve, it's starting to build. But how does that muscle get there? You have to continue to use it. You have to continue to exercise. You have to keep doing push-ups. You have to keep using those dumbbells. You have to keep doing pull-ups. You have to keep working that muscle. You have to be consistent day in and day out for that muscle to start taking form. That's exactly how confidence is. It's not something that you just magically say, okay, I want to wake up tomorrow and have more confidence. And then you wake up tomorrow and yes, you are full of confidence and you are ready to face the world. It does not work that way. Believe me, I wish it did, but it does not. Confidence is something that you have to work on and you have to be consistent. It's not a one and done. Action builds confidence. So the more that you show up for yourself, the stronger you become. So again, start small. Think about a very small goal that you can accomplish within the next 24 to 48 hours and go ahead and do that. And the reason why this is important is because when you commit to doing something and you are successful and you do it, you start to get a little bit more, your shoulders are back, your shoulders are a little, down, they're relaxed. And again, you start walking with a different, pep in your step. Why? Because you are building your confidence. The more you do it, the more you start to accomplish little baby goals, the more confidence you are going to be building, the stronger you are going to be feeling, the more that you start to trust yourself. So start taking small actions because those little actions matter. Reframe failure and start seeing setbacks as lessons, not signs to quit. Whenever you try to do something and it doesn't necessarily work out the first time, just take a pause. Take a pause and look at what your plan was. Look at what parts of your plan didn't work out, and then ask yourself why. Maybe you were, counting on the wrong people. Maybe you underestimated the amount of time it was going to take. Maybe you underestimated the resources that you were going to need. Just look at what you had, what you had planned and the reasons why it didn't work out, and just shift. Rewrite the plan, reframing it. So learning from the reframing that you have done and just seeing what you can learn from that. Because here's the thing, as long as you're taking action, whether they work out or not, because sometimes we are going to just hit the bullseye right out of the park. And sometimes it's kind of like, gotta pause, take a couple of steps back, reframe, replan, refocus, and then do it again. But as long as you're trying, as long as you're being consistent, as long as you're showing up for yourself, these are lessons. It is not permission or a sign for you to quit or that it's not going to work out. It is for you to just pause, reflect, reframe, and get back up and do it again. Betting on yourself is the third one. So how do you start that? How do you start to take chances? How do you start to step out of your comfort zone? The first one is shift your mindset. You have to believe in your own worth and your capabilities, your skill set. You have to trust yourself. You have to start again, shifting that mindset. Your mindset is not negative or it's not full of doubt because of one thing, one time that someone said to you, whether it was a parent, a significant other, a teacher, a boss, best friend, whoever. They didn't just say to you one thing one time and then all of a sudden it screwed your mind for the rest of your life. It was something that was said over and over and over again, repetition. And that's why it seeped into your subconscious and why you eventually started believing it because you started seeing these signs and things like that. So if your parents, spoke to you one way and then you find your teacher speaking to you that certain way and your significant other is doing the same thing and your bosses, you're pretty much reinforcing the negative mindset and you're looking for evidence of that. So just how negativity continues to be poured into your mind, you have to speak positive. You have to start shifting your mindset. You have to start believing in your worth. You have to start believing in your dreams, in your passions. So if you talk to someone about a dream or a goal that you have, a vision, something that it's a dream, but you want to make it into a reality, and they ask you a million questions and they're like, well, I don't understand why you want to do that. That doesn't make any sense. Say to yourself, this dream was given to me. This vision was given to me by my higher power. This dream, I've been having this thought in my mind for like the past 3 years, 2 years, 6 months, whatever time frame it is, 20 years. I believe in myself. I trust myself. I am more than enough. I have the resources to do this. I have the time to do this. I have the money to do this. And if you don't, you know who to go to get the skill set, to get the resources, to get the assistance needed to achieve your goals. So start shifting your mindset and start believing in your own worth and abilities. Take the first step. Even small actions build momentum. Just how we talked about building that muscle, you have to take action. And the action is not a one-time thing. It doesn't work that way. Believe me, I'm pretty sure that, especially women, we all wish that we can just blink our eyes and go to the gym once, do a couple of sit-ups, and we come out with a six-pack. It does not work that way. You have to take small steps every single day. You have to be consistent because those small steps build momentum and eventually you will get to where you want to get. You have to trust yourself. You have to commit to doing the work because again, when you start showing up for yourself, when you start taking action, you start believing in yourself. You start to trust yourself and you continue to show up because you are going to start seeing small evidence. And as soon as you start seeing those little tiny, glimpse of evidence that you are on the right path, that is going to boost your confidence, that is going to pump you up and is going to get the momentum going. Slowly but surely, you are going to reach your dreams. Silence the noise. You have to learn to tune out the doubt, tune out the imposter syndrome, yours and everyone else's. And what that means is, number one, everyone talking in your ear and even the imposter syndrome, the inner critic, you have to shut them out. Learn how to meditate, silence your thoughts, get into a quiet space, go for a walk out in nature. And even when you are walking out in nature, don't have your headphones on, listening to music. And yes, I have a podcast because that's what you're listening to right now, but don't even listen to podcasts. Just get together with nature. Learn to just tune out the noise. Sit by a body of water, especially now that the days are getting longer. The sun is out a little bit more. Go sit by a river, go sit by a lake, by the ocean, depending on where you live. Even if it's if you're not near any of that, by a pool, go take a hot shower. Just let the water just come over you, calm you, and just learn to tune out the noise. When you start to tune out the noise, you can start hearing more clearly the path that you're supposed to be taking and what you're supposed to be doing. Surround yourself with support. Find people who uplift and challenge you. And here's the thing. Not everyone is going to understand your vision. We talked about that earlier on. Not everyone is going to understand you. Not everyone is going to be on board. And that is okay. It is not their dream. It is not their goals. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, with people who uplift you, with people who are going to hold you accountable. And if you're not sure of where to start that, maybe seek a mentor, get a coach. They will definitely hold you accountable and they will ensure that you are on the right path. But finding the right people to surround yourself, finding your tribe is a great way to make sure that you stay accountable, that you are on the right path, that you are bouncing ideas off of each other, that you can go to and vent. Be careful with who you vent to, because if these individuals are just going to pull up a chair and just let you vent without offering any advice or suggestions or guidance or redirection, these are not the people that you need to be associated with. Don't talk to these people. You want to be talking to people who are a level or 2 or 3 ahead of you, because they have been where you are and they have already learned. They are learning how to be able to redirect their thoughts. They have made certain mistakes in the process, and they are able to pull you out of that and uplift you. So go to people who are ahead of you. Don't look at them as competition, because listen, there's more than enough. Everything. There's more than enough resources. There's more than enough time. There's more than enough money. There are more than enough books being written. There are more than enough speakers. There is more than enough for all of us to be successful. So make sure that you find your right tribe who are going to challenge you and who are going to uplift you. So I hope that this has been very helpful for you. Just remember that you are your best investment. Start showing up for you. And I want you to grab your journal and I want you to answer this question. What dream have you been sitting on? And what is one bold step that you can take this week to move towards it? I want you to journal on that, or you can send me an email, or you can send me a DM, tag me, share this episode with a friend who needs to hear this message. And remember that you are going to be betting on yourself, and it is a part of the journey to becoming the woman you were meant to be. See you next week with a brand new episode. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please leave us a 5-star review and share with a friend or two. If you aren't already following us on social media, please connect with me on LinkedIn at Marianne Rivera Dannert, or visit our website, mariannerivera.com. I will catch you next week with a brand new episode, and remember that you are a priority and you matter.